Hi there, my name's Dawn Reader. I've been a professional artist since 1991 when I completed a master's degree at Chelsea School of Art, and I've been earning a living from the sale of my paintings and also as a specialist painter and muralist for some top designers in London. The techniques of working on very, very large scale buildings have flowed into the work I do on canvas as well. I've been exhibiting in London predominantly, but also nationally and sometimes internationally as well. My first love is the sea. I've always painted the sea, and I have very fond memories of going to the sea since childhood. I go armed with different paints and brushes and sketchbooks. I try and capture an essence in my sketches of a particular time. I'll make colour notes so that it's a whole experience that I can do when I come back to my studio and paint. I do work from photographs sometimes if it's got a particular headland in it, but it's not about a place ever. I remove surfers, dogs, seaweed, plastic bottles, everything. It's the quality of light that I prefer. I love the way the light dances on the water, the movement of the wind on the waves. My work has been featured in various magazines, including Vogue and Sunday Times Style magazine, House and Garden, English Home. My work has also been portrayed on Channel 4 TV, BBC and various other things. So the way I work is I make the majority of my larger canvases myself. I then will prime it with a gesso primer, and I layer on the gesso layers and I sand in between each layer just to get it less textured and really solid. I actually really like the way that the canvas wobbles a bit when I'm painting, and that reminds me of the movement I'm trying to capture as well. Once I've got the perfectly primed canvas, I then hand mix oil glazes. I use quite high quality pigments, and I've got my own special glaze medium that I mix up, and I paint in very fine translucent glazes. It takes quite a long time being in oils for each layer to dry, so I might work on about 5 or 6 canvases at any one time, but they can take months and months and months to actually be completed. On this painting behind me, I'd walked to the beach earlier in the day and tide was just going out. So there was this very fine sheen of water on the sand, and I could see these little air bubbles coming out of the sand, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go and paint those bubbles on my painting. So I've got like these little bubbles, and I felt that I finished this particular painting with an absolute flourish, but ordinarily it's a very fine line as to when to know you've actually finished the painting. I'm really looking forward actually to working with Artisanry, because I think it's a new venture for me to be online properly, and I think that to be able to communicate, and let's face it, art is an essence of communication. Edward Hopper wrote once that if I could say it in words, there'd be no reason to paint, and that has almost been something that has made me giggle, because I'm not really a good wordsmith, so it's really helpful to have people who you work alongside with who are looking to represent you. So let's just see where it goes.